Yo, this is the Life Under the Scope podcast. What is Life Under the Scope? It's just that an in depth look at everything that life has to offer. This show will make you laugh, this show will make you cry. It will inspire, it will motivate, and change your mindset about life as you know it. Just know that you will go through every emotion. Life Under the Scope.
Yo, welcome to Life Under the Scope podcast. And I want to have a detailed conversation about, you know, relationships. You know, one question that was posed in the pre-show was, is chivalry dead? But first, I want everybody to introduce themselves and who we got in the house. I'm MJ Dynasty. Who we got in the house today?
Girl, Melo.
All right, Melo. This is gonna be a good one today. So, my first question is, why do some women lie about their age?
I believe that men are attracted to youth. I think that women who lie about their age are probably a little insecure about their age. They think that the guy might not want to date them if they tell them their real age. And because a lot of times guys go for younger women. Sometimes older women is looked at as dried up or not as appealing as younger women. So I think that's probably got a lot to do with it. She probably wish she could go back to the age that she said, or maybe if she lying about being older, she's probably young and she wants to talk to an older guy, but she feel like he might not want her because she's too young.
What would make them insecure about lying about their age? Like, the older you get, I feel like the wiser you get, and I feel like that shows, that you've been through things, that you've experienced life. And if you've grown from things that you've done, then you shouldn't be insecure about your age.
I agree too, but some women, they noticed that a lot of men go for younger women because they feel like their body is not as used up, or sometimes guys go for younger women too because they're not hip to their bullshit. Like a lot of times guys don't want a woman that's going to see through their game.
What is one thing that you regret in a past relationship? Mine would be not, you know, paying attention to certain signs and certain, needs, of my significant other.
I would say accepting so much disrespect. I would, and then letting my anger and my temper bring me down to their level where I'm playing their game and disrespecting them back. I should have just cut the relationship off and left it at that. Like, I usually do. I don't tolerate disrespect, but just this one instance, I was in love with him, and I've noticed that I've only been in love once. That was the first time. So I took a lot of shit from him just because of the love that I had for him. I just kept trying to make it work and kept thinking it would get better if he realized how much I cared about him, and if he realized what he was doing to me and how he was hurting me. But it didn't work out like that. So I regret accepting so much and not valuing myself more than him.
Right.
I loved him. I My world revolved around him, and so I accepted a lot, and I just regret that.
Okay. So why do you think women get into? I know it's the love factor, because when you and even for a man, if you love a woman, enough, you will look over, everything that person does, whether it hurts your relationship or it hurts you, personally. When you're madly in love, you forget about shit like that.
You overlook it, definitely. I feel like a lot of people get past this just because of the love that the other person has for them. Sometimes we allow things that we don't normally allow. We do things that we don't normally do, all in the name of love. It'll make you do some crazy things and tolerate some crazy things.
I know one thing that most people regret is that when they lose or when they someone they break up with someone that they felt like during that moment it wasn't right, but then they have time away from and then they remember like, damn, that was one person I shouldn't have let go. Have you ever had that thought, like someone that you should have held on to?
Yeah, looking back, sometimes I feel like it was petty, some of the reasons that I broke up with somebody, but they always try to come back. So it's like I've tried, to double back a few times, but it still didn't work out. Like it's hard for me to move on.
Well, at least you
When
give a
I'm
person at least you can see that people can change.
Yeah,
Give
definitely,
them
because I
you
know
give them
I've
a
changed,
chance. You give them a chance to at least show that.
right? Because I know that I've changed, so I feel like it's completely possible for other people to change. If I see so much change in myself, it gives me hope. So I feel like it was a couple times that I feel like I probably could have made it work, but was being stubborn.
Hmm. Okay.
What was your situation like?
Well, I could say with me, it's like I would always look for this person or that person to, want what I want out of life and to kind of change who they are and kind of want to, have the same mindset that I do. But I realize you can't do that. You can't force that on somebody. They have to find their own way, and you just have to support them. And me not doing that, that caused rifts, that caused arguments, and distance because it's like that person feel like sometimes that person might feel like you're being too hard on me.
And it seems judgmental sometimes too. Like you might feel judged, like they might have felt judged, like you were judging them.
Yeah, it's definitely like that's one thing that I realized. Like, and that was a question I was going to pose. Like, what's two things that you would improve about yourself? And one of them would, for me, would be you know, not being so judgmental about certain things. Like, I'm not the type to be like judgmental where I'm like speaking it out loud and like writing on Facebook about the shit, but it's like in my mind thoughts, and then especially like if I know you and it's personal and we're close and we're not I have that type of relation with you, then I might say a thing like, well, you can do better at this or you can change this, or it's not really down. I don't feel like it's downing nobody. I just feel like it's constructive criticism, but
Right,
sometimes you could give constructive criticism the wrong way. Person to take it.
right. Your delivery is everything. That's true.
Yeah,
And
language and how you say things is everything.
yes, and opinions and like having an opinion and judging somebody are two different things too. It's okay to have an opinion, but to judge somebody and say, "Oh, you stupid. Why you do it?" Like that's a different thing. You never know what people have been through. Everybody is different. Everybody handles situations different. People's emotions are different. Some people might be at their breaking point and then they don't handle the situation the way you would have, but they're ready to snap mentally, so they're not in the same headspace where maybe that's a trigger for them. Like you never know what somebody been through, so you
Hmm.
can't really tell people how to react to situations unless you're hurting somebody. Then that's a different thing. Like people got to learn their own way.
Right. Let's do that one. What is two things that you so you said your temper and what else that you would approve about yourself?
My temper and how territorial I am and jealous. I just don't.
That's
I
messed
hate.
up. I'm the same way. I just don't. I don't like you just said. I don't like to show it. Like I
Yeah, like I
definitely don't
feel
like to
like
show it. I try to hide that as much as possible because I feel like you know that'll get as a man that'll get down to talked about.
yeah, yeah. for me as a woman, I feel like it'll chase somebody away. Like, it's ridiculous how bad it is with me. I just really don't show it. I'm an Aries. I'm nonchalant. I'm very good at covering up. But on the inside, I could be just so uncomfortable and just hate it. But I won't show it though because I don't want it to come across like I don't like the word jealous because I'm not a jealous person. I'm just territorial and possessive.
I mean,
You know,
I feel like that's an attractive trait, you know, to a certain extent. Not like
right? Exactly. To a
it's
certain extent.
not like the movie scene, crazy women like territorial, but to the point where it's like yeah, she really like I'm her king and she's my queen type shit, like that type shit. Put them up on a
Right.
pedestal.
Right. What do you feel like you would change?
Mm, my I worry too much. I worry about
Anxiety.
every little anxiety, worry about everything, and the second one probably be just to be more understanding about stuff and realize that nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. And, just being more of putting out because I've been on
Compassion.
I've been on this wave of just if you give whatever you give, you will receive back. A lot more than what you gave out. So just really being on that. I wasn't on that all my whole life. I was always a nice person and giving person, but I was never the more so like I want to give all to all, and in the long run I will receive all. I might not be when I want it to be, but eventually it'll happen.
Yeah. As far as the dating scene, how do you feel about chivalry?
I'm glad you because I was just about to bring that one up actually. Chivalry, I feel like it's not dead, but men don't focus on it enough as much as they should. Open the door, pulling out the chair for them at the restaurant, or just little simple gestures, giving up your jacket if she's cold, stuff like that. Like just kind of simple things to make that person feel special. Like
Yeah.
I can admit too, like I forget to do things like that sometimes, but like if you don't do that, then I feel like that'll cause a distance between you and the person you're with because they'll feel like, well, he's not really. I'm just here, maybe because I'm a female and it's something just for as sex. But if you're showing these little tiny, because women remember that type of stuff, and that's what I've
Yeah, we
been
do.
learning. That's what I've been learning that you guys remember the details of certain things and you remember certain dates. Like I was talking to one female about that topic. Like, why do you females put such a emphasis on dates, like certain days of the year when certain things happen, like your anniversary of the first time you guys went on a date or the first time you kissed and stuff like that.
It's special to us. Just like a holiday or a birthday.
Hmm.
We want to remember it because when we go back to that day, we can remember exactly how we felt. We can remember everything about it. We remember what we had on. We remember what you had on. We remember how our hair was done. It's a special day for us, so we always want to remember it and keep it close to us.
So I guess you say women are big into memories,
Yes.
capturing memories.
Yep.
What is one thing that someone has done for you to make you say, "Wow, that's different"?
Actually, this just happened like a few days ago. Um, it's this guy, a Facebook friend. We've been friends on Facebook for a long time. So I guess he's been watching me on my page, and so he just randomly started cash apping me money every week.
Damn.
And it was, he was like, the first time he sent it, it was like, hey, I want to feed you. And he sent me some money. And after that, it was every week. And
Mm.
I'm like, wow, that's different. He never asked for my number. He never asked to try to talk to me or anything. He just kept sending me money. And so just like probably last week, he said, if I got you something, would you come pick it up? I said, well, pick it up from where? And he told me his job. I felt better about that. I said, okay. So I pull up in the parking lot. He comes out and he hands me this big edible arrangement and a beautiful vase, a bouquet of roses and assorted flowers.
Mm.
You want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And give the audience some visual.
Right.
Oh,
And they
damn,
have,
that's nice.
yeah, they dying now, but they have glitter. Like he said he did it himself. The glitter, the details and stuff like that.
Right.
And that was just so nice. And then this rhinestones, like it's just really, really nice. And I had never had anybody like I've only gotten flowers once in my whole life from a guy, and that was years ago. So
Oh.
I'm not used to little gestures like that, in relationships. It was very rare that it was just, oh, I thought about you and here you go. So that was like really special to me.
So
And
do you think that though people not doing stuff like that throughout your life as much? Do you think that comes from have a person's personality that you was with?
I think it comes from me not demanding. I'm not. I don't ask for anything like material or as far as money wise. So I feel like I probably never asked for it, so they never thought to do it. Or maybe I just never really had a guy that was thoughtful like that and really thought that much of me to do stuff like that for me.
That's one thing I can say about that people that don't that they look over and they try to joke about it, but a man if a man truly cares about a woman, if that woman is demand something or not even demand but acts of something from their man, then I feel like he will be able to adjust and do that because when you put pressure on anything, it'll end up showing its true colors. So either that he'll show that he really don't care for you, or he'll show like, yeah, he gonna definitely just up and switch it up, and you're gonna start seeing a difference.
Yeah. I feel like though, if you really care about something, you'll take care of it. And I feel like a person should not have to ask for. It's just it may seeing the way that this guy was doing things and treating me. I just felt like, what the fuck have I been doing my whole life? It sparked the light bulb in my head. Like I've really been putting up with nothing. Like I've been tolerating nothing, just being okay with nothing. Like just you. That's all I've had is just you. Not saying nobody has never done anything. Like, I had a guy help me. He moved in with me and he was helping me with my rent. I had another guy for my birthday. He bought me a couple outfits and took me out and we had a good time. But this is the most consistent that I've ever seen. Like I've never had a guy consistently show this kind of be like he's being consistent and it's different. I'm not used to it.
Is it scary?
No, I like it.
Hmm.
It's making me higher, raise my standards now. It's making me feel like, well, what the hell? I deserve this. Why haven't I been what is like I just been tolerating low just I don't know. It's just making me reevaluate my choices. It's making me look at myself like, what have you been doing? Like making me feel crazy, feel like kind of stupid.
No, it's just lessons learned.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing. I'm not mad, but it definitely makes me think though.
Okay. I got one for you. This one that you picked out was do you think Netflix and chill is a suitable date? I would say yeah. Now it is. I mean, in the times that we're in, it's kind of like you gotta do that. It's either that or watch our Prime Video. Where all the movies is coming on Prime now, so it's like a lot of stuff you can't really do. So it's like you gotta be creative, and if you could be creative with that and make it better than just Netflix and chill, do more things, expand. Just like how he brought you flowers and was creative with that. You can be creative with having a Netflix and chill day. What you think about that?
I think that it's okay if you've already been dating a person and you know them or y'all are in a relationship, but as far as
I mean,
meeting a
of
new
course not
person,
off the jump. No, hell no. We
like I don't.
rather do
Hey,
a
but
Zoom date than do than do
yeah,
that.
but listen, they try it. Trust me, these guys out here, they be trying it. I feel like dudes, guys wouldn't be doing it if females wouldn't be allowing it. Like obviously, it's working. Like when guys approach me with certain things, I sometimes I ask them like, do that work for you? You get girls like that, and they tell me, yeah. Obviously, somebody going for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they making it hard out here for the women who have actual standards.
Mm.
It's like they all they want is a bag of weed and a bottle of alcohol and they good. Like I'm not that kind of woman, so
Hmm.
it's not gonna work for me. But nowadays, that's how it is. Like that's how society is, and it's a shame because if you have just one standard, they feel like you're asking for too much because these chicks out here just taking anything. I also feel like a part of that has something to do with self-esteem. Like
Hmm.
you will take anything and be happy with anything if you have low self-esteem. Like if you don't have standards, then you obviously don't have very much self-love and self-respect.
Right.
Like when you love yourself so much, you don't tolerate certain things and you don't put up with certain things. So I feel like you got to put your foot down sometime. Like you can't just let people. It's like, okay, if that's what you're into, then whatever, that's on you. But I feel like people should earn rights to you. You should not just be giving things away just because, oh, they cute, I like them. Like energy is exchanged when you're close to somebody physically, when you have sex, all of that. So I feel like in order for me to exchange my energy with yours, I have to be able to trust you to a certain extent. And I that's not that's earned. You don't just give away trust. I learned that the hard way. I used to just trust people like, oh well, they didn't give me a reason not to, but you never know what people are plotting or scheming or what they doing or saying behind your back, or what they like. Let's y'all have one misunderstanding or one argument, and now everything y'all had is out the door, and they your real life enemy. Like you got to be careful.
Whenever it's like you get into some kind of disagreement, you never let that overshadow, you know, the good things and the good times.
It depends on how bad the disagreement was. If disrespect comes into play, then that's a whole nother category.
Hmm.
So
I mean, yeah, I've argued with my girls and things like that before, but we never got. It's never been like never cussing at you, or never calling you bad words.
oh wow, that's beautiful. I wish I could say
Like
that.
it was just. It's like the arguing seems like an argument. It's not. It wouldn't. I wouldn't say we even say it was an argument. It just seems like an argument because the two people are passionate about what they're saying, and their tone of voice is raising, maybe a little bit because they're passionate about it. Like they really just actually care.
I can't even imagine you arguing like that. Is so funny to me. You so laid back and calm. Like I cannot imagine you get mad and arguing with somebody. Do
um,
you raise your voice ever?
yeah, I mean that's what I've been told. She's like you be yelling at me or you get loud. No, I just don't like I don't like controversial conflict. Like I'm the type of person that I rather go and be in a room by myself and be alone than you know than deal with conflict and controversy like drama and
Yeah,
shit.
I don't. I don't like. I hate confrontation too. I hate it so much. It makes me feel bad on the inside. Like my stomach be all turning. I just my heart beating fast. I'm shaking. I get mad. And I don't like feeling like that. So I try to avoid it.
I mean, one thing that does that to me is like when people like get a certain perception of me that's totally wrong.
Oh, I hate that.
It's like a negative perception too, and it's like,
Yes,
hey,
I hate it
come on,
so much.
like what? Like no, that's one thing that's one thing that I got to stop doing and worrying about. Like
What
like
other people
you
think?
can't really you can't like can't dictate that. Like if you're
Yeah,
being yourself, you can't really dictate that.
I feel like no matter what you do, no matter how good of a person you are, it's always going to be somebody who still just don't care for you, don't like you. And my thing is, I'm tired of defending myself. I'm tired of clearing my name. I'm tired of, no, I didn't do that. No, I didn't say that. It's a lie. It's not true. I'm tired of doing that. So I feel like at this point, believe what you want to believe. If you really know me, then you will know what the truth is. And if you believe it, then you obviously don't know me. So I mean, but if you want to know, just ask me. I would rather people ask questions than to just assume for what they heard and believe something based on what some he say she say, and they don't really know
Mhm.
whether it's true or not. They've never confirmed it with you. They just believed it off rip, and that is such a I hate that so much. It's a pet peeve. I hate it because I don't do that. I will go right to the person and ask them, "Hey, is this true?" I don't give my source. I don't tell where I hear things from. I just ask,
Mhm.
well, I heard this and that. Is it true? Why not?
Right.
Give that person a chance to defend themselves. Give that person a chance to tell you what the real truth is instead of just going off of something that you heard, where you assumed just because of something looked a certain way instead of asking.
Right. So that leads into my next question. Well, what's one thing you would say you would need in a relationship? I would say communication.
I would say respect. I gotta have that. I gotta have that. It's it's a lot of things that I need in a relationship. That's of course you can't buy it. It's from within. But respect. That's something that I just recently learned. Actually, that's a really big deal for me, and I need it. I can't be in a relationship without that.
I mean, yeah, communication comes with respect though, because if you're not communicating and things are being, things are going on within the relationship or the household or whatever, and both people don't know about it or both people not aware about what's going on in each other's minds, then I feel like that's being disrespectful to, you know, your significant other.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you ever had a lack of communication in a relationship from
Definitely
yourself or
several
from
times.
the other person?
Both. I would say in the past, sometimes when I got angry, I would shut down instead of expressing exactly how I felt. I would shut down, and it was because when I'm mad, when I'm angry, my mouth is smart and I'm rude. So I don't like to express myself when I'm angry. I don't like to argue when I'm angry because I say mean things, hurtful things, and you can't take words back once they've been spoken. You can't put them back in your mouth. So it's like, damn, now I done said this. Now he won't always remember it. He's never going to forget it because it hurt his feelings. So now he going to be thinking about it every time I get mad. It's just,
Hey,
I don't know.
do your eyes get small like a cat and you get mad?
No,
Like
no, they don't.
I was just thinking, like, I'm like, damn, I couldn't picture you just like snapping on somebody, but I'm pretty sure
Oh
you could.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you could do it.
definitely. I don't like to, but if I have to, I will. But I either shut down or I'm like, okay, my last relationship, it was major communication issues with both of us. Sometimes I shut down, sometimes I went too far and said very hurtful, mean things. Even though I might not have meant those things in the moment, that's how I was feeling. I was that angry. And I wish I would have just calmed myself down and then had the conversation instead of saying those things in that moment.
Yeah, I know.
And then,
I do realize that helps. Like, stepping away from it. Get
yeah, you can gather your thoughts and you can think and communicate effectively and not angrily because that's not the way.
because
But
I'm at.
sometimes
Go
a
ahead.
lot of guys, a lot of times though, when I'm angry, they try to push the issue, push the issue, push the issue, and they want to force me to talk right then and there. And then I snap because I leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me the fuck alone. It's like
Hmm.
I give so many warnings, and I'm telling you, I don't want to talk right now to save your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings. So just let me calm down and gather my thoughts so I can communicate effectively and maturely instead of screaming at you like a kid.
Once, once she gets, you can see the mad in her eyes. It's like I just become a sap, and I be like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean none of that. Like you just kind
Aw, that's so sweet.
I mean, I don't know. I just got that soft spot about me. It was just like I'm not. I don't want to come off like an asshole. Maybe,
Right.
I was wrong. Like you. Then, like I said, I think I worry myself to death, so I'm always thinking. So run things through my head over and over again. It's like, damn, I
You
shouldn't have did
overanalyze.
that. Yeah, like I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, she came to say hi.
hey, man, it's a cute cat. Got the dang got the eyes is big. What's the
She looking
name?
right. Layla.
Okay. Yeah, my cat don't look in the screen for some reason. He be looking off to the side.
I'm surprised she looking.
Oh, you
Come
can
here.
hear it. You hear it too.
You can.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
This little baby. Hmm.
Yeah, I be doing that too. They be getting that little stuff in their eyes and shit.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I was drunk, like as hell. Yeah, yesterday. That was yesterday. Yeah, when we was on the show. After we ended the show, I'm laid out drunk in the bed and shit, and the motherfucking cat just standing on top of my back, like just meowing over and over again. And it's like it seems like he could tell, like, are you okay?
Yeah, they check on you. Yep. My babies check on me when I'm sad or upset. They always do. And I love that about them. They are great companions. Like, they're just the best. They make me feel better when I'm sad. Like, some kind of way, they just always make me happy.
Your cat ain't never wiped a tear from your eye. I bet.
No, no.
My cat has done that for me, and I will admit that yeah, I was teared up at the moment, but I'm open about things. Maybe a little too open, but yeah,
I am too. Because why not? Shit.
yeah,
People gonna judge you either way.
hell yeah. So is that something that if you're in a relationship and it's going to be long term, they have to accept the fact that you like cats?
Yes, definitely. They're not going nowhere. I actually had an ex. He didn't like them, and he didn't allow them to sleep in the bed, so I would have to lock him out the room every night. I hated it, but I did it for him, you know, because I loved him. Um, Anytime the cat would look at him, he'd be like, "Mel, get your fucking cat," and it would just be so funny. Like he's not doing nothing to you; he's just looking at you. He about to jump on me. He about to do. I'm like, he's
You
not
know
gonna
what it,
bother
you know
you.
what it is the thoughts like you're already you dislike the cat, so you probably feel like the cat dislike you. So
Yeah,
if the cat
yeah,
looking at him, he like, the cat looking at me strange.
yeah.
I could do something.
He used to think they was plotting on him, and I told him my cats are so different. Like they don't bother nobody. They
Mhm.
just do their own thing. They don't do nothing to nobody.
Yeah, that's one thing people forget about animals in general is that you know they have the same, they have similar traits and personalities like humans.
Yeah, they
And
do.
not all of them are assholes, and not all of them are devious and getting and stuff, and
Yep, I agree.
aggressive.
I agree. A lot of people misconstrue it and think, oh, they sneaky. They like to play, but if you train your cat, if you take time with your cat, then they will do what you tell them to do, and they're not going to bother nobody. My cats are very good. They're very well trained.
Like, how much does a person have to show you to consider marriage with that person?
For me, I feel like he has to value me and he has to respect me and he has to make me feel the love. Um, my last relationship taught me that. Like, if I don't feel what you're telling me, then I don't believe it and I'm not going to. And you can't convince me otherwise because when you really feel a certain way, you will show it. And when you really want something, nothing can stop you from getting it. You're going to do everything you can to get it. You will work hard to get it. So he has to show me that. He has to show me that consistency that I'm what he wants every day and that I'm all he wants every day.
So why do you think that some women you know put off put off things that they want when they get into a relationship? Like, I feel like women like give up not their happiness, but they
Their
give
identity.
yeah they give up they when they're about to, they're single and they're on the market per se. It's more so they pay attention to themselves, they focus on themselves, and then when they get into a relationship, they put too much into the other person.
Yeah, we lose ourselves because we make him our world. We make him our everything. And it's like we forget what we like because we so worried about what he like and what he wants and what he want to do and what he want to eat and what he want us to look like. Sometimes we forget what we want, and what we want to be and what we like to do. And because we just want to please our man, we want him to be happy. We don't want him to have to go anywhere for anything. We want him to have everything in us, like we have everything in him. So
Hmm.
we feel like if we make him feel like a king, if we make him feel like we damn near worship him, then he won't have to go anywhere else for anything. But we still fall. We feel like we still fall short when eventually he does venture off somewhere else. It's like we feel like we failed, and now we're like, who am I? I got to figure out myself. I got to learn myself all over again, and remember who I am. Remember who the fuck I am. Because I mean, you can really take a bruise to your ego when somebody hurt you or cheat on you. That shit really hurts, and it fuck with your head. So I feel like we just we put everything into the man that we love, and just we want him to feel the same way that we feel.
But what if the man is telling you like, you don't do that so much? I mean, it's cool, I like it, but you know, do some things for yourself. show, go more so for what you want, and don't lose all of yourself within the relationship.
Me personally, I would appreciate that. It's rare. It's rare for a guy to, because they enjoy the attention so much, especially when he's driven by ego. He really, oh my God,
I
he
mean,
won't
like,
even realize that he's not showing you shit. He won't even realize that he's not doing shit for you. He's so happy and so excited by the feeling that you're giving him. He's not realizing that he's not giving you a feeling.
hmm
And so you drain yourself and you just get exhausted and you don't have any more to give because you done gave it all to him. And now you got to recharge.
so is that one of the things that you know you give all of that, and then that person breaks your heart or breaks your trust? That's one of the things that hurts the most, I guess you would
It
say.
does. It hurts because you make plans, you make future plans. When you really care about people, you see a life with them. You see a future with them. You start making plans. You start thinking about having a baby for him. You start thinking about possibly marrying him. You think about traveling, vacations, buying property, starting a business together. Like you think about those things. And once the rug is pulled from under your feet, you just feel like, where do I go from here? Like, now what do I do? How do I start over? How do I learn how to breathe without him? Like, it's it's like a blow to the chest, knock the wind out of you.
Hmm. How far have you gone in that instance, like, as far as like losing yourself in a relationship?
Um, Weight. I lose weight in relationships because I'm so focused on making him happy.
Stressing out
Yeah,
about the shit.
it's stressful to try to please somebody and make them happy at all times. It's draining and it's tiring. So, I was losing weight in relationships. I gain weight every time I get out of a relationship
Hmm.
because I'm completely focused on me. I'm completely into myself. And what I want to learn how to balance, how to be myself and be in a relationship and be about myself and be focused on myself and him at the same time. It's like all or nothing with me. And I got to learn how to balance that. But I've gone so far, not really that far, just wearing my hair how he liked it. Not wearing as much weave because he liked my natural hair. Um, I went as far as like cooking all the food that he liked, and excuse me, even though I didn't really like it, I still made it and ate it. Like, buying the kind of food he liked, and dressing, wearing certain things. Um, Not wearing certain things because, oh, it's too revealing. I can see your coochie print, shit like that. It's like, okay, fine. I won't wear these jogging pants no more then, stuff like that. Um, Trying to, well, I had like an ex. I didn't really care for his family too much, but I still went around them because it was his family. I tried my best to like them, but I just couldn't.
What was because
They was rats.
so they
They
it's
was
you didn't
fucking
like
rats.
them, or they it just you didn't like them, or they didn't like you, so it was like
Well, no, I've never had an issue with anybody's family not liking me. Thank God, they always loved me. I didn't really. It's not that I didn't like them. I just didn't care for them. I was annoyed by them. They didn't do anything to me. I just didn't care for their characteristics and their mannerisms. They was like rats, you
Mhm.
know. And I don't really care for hood rats. I'm annoyed by them. So it annoyed me being around them, just listening to how their mind worked, listening to how they talked and how they carried themselves and how they acted and the shit that they talked about. I couldn't relate to shit like that, but it wasn't nothing personal to me or nothing bad that happened.
So
Um,
what type of character do you like to be around? Like what type of
I
people?
mean, I can get along with damn near anybody. I can blend in. I just don't really care for loud, ratchet, ghetto, just stank attitude people. I don't really care for those kind of people. I can get along with anybody, but I prefer not to surround myself with people of that kind of caliber.
You like mild mannered, civilized people, I guess.
Right. Yeah, like you don't have to be spot of tea with your pinky out and shit,
Ah,
but like just don't big man
oh
with
yeah, I
all that
know.
popular
Yeah,
gun
yeah,
all that
yeah. That's
all of
the
that
extra
is
stuff.
yeah, it's a little too much for me. It's not my cup of tea.
Right. They say if you're around people that you can't relate to, you be quiet as a mouse.
Yes, definitely. And I'm very quiet around people that I don't get along with, or I mean, not get along, but I get along with everybody. But people that I'm not really, we don't vibe because we don't have a lot in common. I don't really have
You
much to
can
say.
feel the energy of people. You don't even got to talk to them. You kind of can just feel certain.
Yeah, and for me, I'm going to observe anyway. I'm always going to listen and observe my environment if it's a new environment before I say anything, because I need to know who I'm dealing with here. I'm reading y'all. Just let me just see what's going on first. Oh, you quiet? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then, if I feel comfortable, then I know what to share and what not to share. Cause I hear y'all gossiping about other people and telling everybody business, so I know not to tell y'all my business. Stuff like that. I mean, if I just meet you, I'm not going to really do that anyway. But I feel like you learn who to be open with and who to be a little more tight-lipped with when you listen. You learn a lot by listening and paying attention.
I was always called bashful growing up.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because I'm picky with who I give my energy to. I'm picky with who I completely engage in conversation with. I'm picky. And if I don't like you, I'm not going to pretend to like you. I'm not even going to speak to you if I don't like you. So yeah, I'm quiet. I don't like you. It's rare that I don't like somebody. It's you really have to have done something to me for me not to like you. But it happens.
What is one thing that makes you angry?
Disrespect.
Like everybody, see that? Okay, word of the day, everybody. We
Disrespect.
started doing words of the day when somebody says something 3 to 4 times in an episode or more. That's the word of the day. So disrespect is the word of the day. Thank you, man.
Yep. Disrespect. I don't like being called out my name. I don't like being you insinuating anything negative that's not true. I don't like that. Don't lie on me. Don't accuse me. Just ask me and I will tell you. Um, to me, that's disrespect. Cutting me off while I'm talking, that's disrespect. I don't like it. We're gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna warn you. Like, all right, now let me talk. Um, I don't like for people to judge me harshly because I don't do that. Like if I'm not doing something to you, don't do it to me. I'm not judgmental. I have opinions, but I'm not judgmental. I'm not gonna say, oh bitch, you dumb as hell. What the fuck wrong with you? You dumb, you going to that nigga. I don't do that. I'll just say, well, are you sure that's what you wanna do? Or well, do you want my advice? I always ask. And if they say yeah, well, if it was me, I don't say, bitch, what the fuck? You a dumbass hoe. Like I don't like that. So don't do that to me. What do you feel like is one thing that you really don't like?
Um, One thing that makes me angry is miscommunication. So I guess I'll go back to that. People that don't, they got something that's on their mind and they don't want to say it because they don't want you to feel some type of way, or they don't want some kind of conflict. But I feel like it's worse when you hold it in and don't relay the
Yeah,
message.
yeah. You build up resentment towards the other person that.
It eats away at you.
Yeah, and you build up resentment and you build up anger and frustration towards them, and then one day you're gonna blow, and it's gonna be over something dumb like, oh, I forgot to take the trash out. Now you said that you didn't take the trash. Is you like, now they blowing up at you. You're like, damn, what the fuck? It's just something small, but it's been a build
Patterns
up.
there.
Yeah, now you full and you explode over something that don't have nothing to do with what you really mad about, but that took you over. That little thing took you over the top, and now you going off because you didn't speak up. You got to let it out some kind of way. It's not healthy. It will eat at you and it'll slowly kill you.
What kind of advice could you give to people, out there that's not been through, everybody's been through their unique things in life, and from what you've been through, what kind of advice could you give another person, whether it's whether it's a male or a female? What kind of advice could you say, when you're getting into a relationship with someone? This is something that you should probably think about.
I would say pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to your gut, your spirit. It's not very common that it's wrong. Um, Learn their upbringing, learn their childhood, learn what their relationship is like with their parents. That's very important. That'll tell you a lot about the person. And if you have certain requirements or standards, don't lower your standards for that person because they will not rise to meet you if you allow that. The more you lower your standards, the more they're going to make you keep lowering your standards because they see that you have no boundaries. You have to set boundaries. That is so important. And I learned that too. If you see that when you set the boundaries, they throw tantrums or they have a problem, then you have a problem with their relationship. They're controlling or they're possibly narcissistic, and you might want to get the fuck on before you get to feeling strong feelings for them and fall in love. And then now your feelings hurt. And, it's easier to get out in the beginning than it is later when you love them. So just pay attention, keep your eyes open.
It's funny you said narcissistic because that was one I was gonna have a show about that. Like, do you have do you have narcissistic traits? Like, some people don't realize that they do have narcissistic
Yes.
traits.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. Yeah, we got to do a show on that because I got a lot to say about that.
Like, do you know the exact definition of a narcissistic person? Like,
Not the exact definition, though.
would you say you may have narcissistic traits?
I do. I have some. Yeah.
Because I even give it to you here. It's narcissistic is a personality disorder. It involves pattern of self-centered, arrogant thinking and behavior, a lack of empathy and consideration for other people, and an excessive need for admiration. Like,
Yeah.
that's the one trait I feel like
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I look for that. I be trying to get, I guess, a certain sense of satisfaction from like
Ego.
people. Yeah, like people,
Hmm.
like
Yeah. Who don't like the ego stroke? Like who don't want somebody to tell them how awesome they are? Like that's who don't want that. What
so.
is the advice that you would give people getting into a new relationship?
Hmm, I would have to say I could. It's a lot of advice. One thing is don't like in the moment if there's something going on between you two and you're feeling some type of way, like always calm down and have a conversation about that. In the future, never, like they say, never go to bed mad in a relationship. And also, you must have communication. You must be able to talk about everything. You must be able to talk about each other's fears, dislikes, likes, mistakes, past relationships, wrongdoings, everything. Like you have to be able to put everything out on the table. And last but not least, I would probably say like basically if she's showing you like loyalty and trust and love when you're at your lowest and you don't have things, you don't have much, make sure you show her that type of same love when when you elevate yourself.
Right.
Never forget about that because people tend to do that. And another thing too is like that question I asked about, you know, why do women let themselves go or give themselves up as far as their goals and focus on themselves when they're in a relationship. Don't do that. Like you gotta, if you have to do that, then I believe you. It's probably not the one for you because you gotta be happy first. You can't make someone else happy if you're not happy.
Right. It starts from within. I say that all the time.
It's part of that
Anything.
narcissisticness. You gotta people to be seeking attention from other people, like and gauging their own happiness off what other people think about them.
Right. Right.
And we can end it there. I want everybody to like, share, subscribe, and share this on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Podchaser, and soon you can find us on Apple Music, Pandora, and all the other platforms. You can look for this episode very soon. I've been trying to get Mel on a good recording so we can put this out and everybody can hear her voice like she said on Facebook. This has been a great episode of Life Under the Scope.
See you later.
Under the scope.